Chronicle, also an epitome of honesty, stories on pages 2 and 3. Mahama Yarga eulogizes minority leader. And also, AFAC demands forensic audit of gold board. And Ando Dumpre grills on plastic waste, climate finance. These stories on the front page of the Chronicle newspaper. To the Informer, which motto is nothing but the truth. We warned BOG about gold board losses, story on page 3. IMF reveals, but central banks account to pressure of higher authority. And the OSP is back, end quote. Kisia Jaben declares rebirth, fires warning at critics as he names 5 persons of interest in Bakwe probe. And Galamsey, now youth employment, and that's coming from the Catholic bishops. And also in this issue, you can find Ghana's growth faces fresh threat as World Bank flags high cost of doing business. That story on page 6 of the Informer newspaper. Yes. So those are by way of a few headlines making rounds. Oh, let's do the daily graphic. Yes. The daily graphic. Property rates can yield 20 billion Ghana cedis yearly. Local government minister designates says adverting. President Mahama cut short for multiple airport projects. That story on page 13. Our fight Galamsey environmental crisis. Dr. Jaman Rollins, story on page 15. And to the Meridian, the motto, the truth behind the news. Afenyo Malkin, paragon of honesty. That's coming from Ayariga, Lord's minority leader for fortitude and integrity. And Abanga promises 4 million youth votes for Bawumia, files for MPP youth organizer, unveils 70 seats plan. Yes. And at this point, I'd like to hand over to Thelma, who is sitting down with her guests to interrogate these issues making rounds in the news.
I believe that these are your colleagues you have worked with. One has been a leader for years. There is no way the House can go back and say their leader is not qualified to be a minister. Honorable Dr. Zanato, the minority has even said more than what the majority has said. So what is there to deliberate upon or debate? So I proceed to put the question. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. This honorable House has accordingly approved the nominations of His Excellency the President of the following persons as Ministers of State in accordance with Article 78(1) of the 1992 Constitution. The first is Honorable Mahama Ayarga. As Minister of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. The second is Honorable Zanato Ajiman Rollins. For the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology, and Innovation. Honorable members, on your behalf, I want to congratulate the two members of the House.
Right Honourable Speaker Alban Bagbin speaking in Parliament yesterday. Welcome back to GTV Breakfast. I am Thelma Taki and this is the headline segment. Parliament was alive yesterday and the happenings thereof will be some of what we'll talk about today at the table as I'm joined by the ladies. We'll go back into the chamber very shortly, but let me introduce at the table making returns for all three. Hajia Hamdatu Ibrahim is a former acting chairperson, CPP. Hajia, good morning. Salaam alaikum. Welcome back. Ellen Amadeko is special aide to former Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and speaks for the NPP. Ellen, good morning.
Hi,
welcome back. Today's pink rather than red. It's a shade of red.
Oh, it's pink.
Welcome back. And we'll also welcome Theresa Kokui, who is a member of the NDC's National Communications team. Tess, good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome back as well.
Thank you.
I hope we're all doing well.
Grace has found
good.
us. Once we are here, at least we have life.
We thank God for it. I'll ask what's on your mind, but I bet it has to do with Parliament. And as we heard from the Speaker yesterday, the honourable members nominated from the House for ministerial appointment were, we are told, unanimously approved. So Parliament has approved both the Honourable Mahama Yariga and Dr. Zaneto Agyemang-Rawlings for ministerial appointment. The Honourable Mahama Yariga becomes Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, and Dr. Zaneto Agyemang-Rawlings, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. And the Appointments Committee of Parliament recommended their appointment or approval after their vetting earlier in the day yesterday. Parliament approved both nominations by voice vote. Speaker Bagbin, as we heard just a few minutes earlier, puts the question and declared that the ayes had it. I'm sure you are familiar with the term, expressly stating that the approval had been given pursuant to Article 78(1) of the 1992 Constitution. Importantly, like I said, reports say it was a unanimous vote. So there was no recorded division against either nominees. So let's hear what the ladies have to say about this. And it's quite interesting, isn't it, Hajia? I'm sure you've read or you watched portions of Alhaji Ayariga's vetting and Dr. Zaneto Agyemang-Rawlings' vetting as well. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on how they performed and the subsequent approval.
Good morning, Thelma. Good morning to my two sisters here. And then good morning to the good people of this country. I wish everybody well and Juma Mubarak to all of you. I didn't watch, I was there.
Okay.
Yeah. I think as for the earlier one, which was Honorable Ayariga's own, I watched it from the, is it a foyer or something they call, yeah. Waiting patiently for Dr. Zaneto's turn. I was there in my capacity as the lead on sustainability and resource mobilization of Aulen, Ghana. Dr. Zaneto is a member of Aulen, Ghana, and Dr. Charity Binka nominated me to go and represent the organization. And I was very happy to be there. I watched Honorable Ayariga, and I think I can say because he was, now he's no more the leader of the majority, that he was the majority leader, you could see some kind of, I didn't see any question that might bring some controversy. But the first question was like, I said, hey, this question again, if you recall, the cathedral was the first shot from an NDC member of parliament. So those of us in the foyer was like, hey, you even wait for maybe MPP to ask, and you were asking to. But I think he handled it well, and then whether we like it or not, as a Muslim, I'm not against the building of any cathedral or something, because if he's saying that he will consult the religious bodies to see the way forward, I think that is how it should be, because we cannot leave the project unattended too. It's a big hope there, and then I think the country needs it. The country, some people are saying that why should we have a cathedral? Buildings were pulled down, and an edifice was going to be put there. So for me, I think we should look at the whole thing in a very in a very positive way. I'm a Muslim, and then I think the cathedral was going to have different portions that people can even use it for other things. When it comes to my sister, Dr. Zenato, in fact, yesterday, even some of the people were in tears, because if I did not see anybody, I saw the mayor of Tema sharing tears, Honorable E.B. Bright, because when I think, I don't know whether it was Honorable Nando Dompre or Patrick Boama, who said the mother and father would be happy wherever they are. They would have been, it would have been nice if they would be sitting behind her as they are vetting her. But God knows best. You could see that even when she was going to respond, her voice was a bit shaky. But she addressed the issues eloquently. And most of the people didn't even want to ask her. This one will say, we wish you well, we wish you well. Because people were waiting for Zenato to be appointed as the minister. So everybody was happy. Everybody was happy. You could see the happiness from both sides. And then, as for Helen's party, MPP, they said they really campaigned for her to be nominated. Every day they'll be talking about it. And they used that opportunity to also say what they wanted to say. But I think she had, should I use the word favor? From both sides. They were very happy with her. And her composure, her eloquence was par excellence. So, Honorable Zenato, let me congratulate you once again. You have been approved. We are just waiting for the swearing in. That Ghana flag or something that we are waiting for it, so that we'll go and celebrate. Aulin, she's our member, and we are very proud that she's been appointed, nominated, and now she has been confirmed. We are just waiting for the formalities at the Jubilee House. So we should wish them well. We wish her well.
Okay.
Are we speaking about Parliament, or we are speaking about what's on our mind?
We are speaking about what the Speaker just approved, the two ministerial nominees, the Honourable Mahama Yariga and the Honourable Dr. Zaneto Agyemang-Rawlings.
Before I get there, let me say a happy birthday to my incoming boss and the incoming national organizer of the NPP, Honourable Titus Glover. Hey. Today is his birthday. He's in Kumasi with the campaign. He's finishing up in Ashanti region. And I want to wish him a happy, happy birthday. God bless him, give him more strength, and keep him safe to see what he wants to do for Ghana. I also want to say good morning to my boss, Dr. Bawumia. Yesterday, he met with the Association of Small-Scale Miners. They had a very fruitful conversation. This is all part of his agenda to actually engage every sector of this economy. As the government in waiting and the next president of Ghana, he's doing his bit and his duty. And yesterday, they had very fruitful discussions. And just as he told them, we are going to do our best to make sure that we also give our solutions to our current situation that we are going on with Galamsey and all the issues pertaining and relating to our gold industry. Vetting. I would have been shocked if this particular vetting had gone any other way than it did. Because these are two people who have been in Parliament for quite some time. Honorable Ayariga has been minority leader. He's been majority leader. And over the years, he's been MP 4 times. This is his 4th term, or 5th? 5th. I mean, 5 times means 20 years in Parliament. So it would have been very strange if he didn't reach across or he had an acrimonious vetting. So I think yesterday what happened was excellent. They are long overdue for ministers. And I'm hoping that just as their vetting went very well, their work at the ministry would also go well. Then they will deliver to Ghanaians, because that's the end game. Ghanaians have to benefit from what they are doing. So congratulations to Honorable Ayariga. And yesterday that I realized, I got to know that he is actually married to one of the MPs from my region, Millicent Amankwa. Now she's Millicent Ayariga. Okay, congratulations to them. And I'm hoping that they also had a good marriage. Then Honorable Senator Rollins. I was excited when I heard her name. Excited because she's an example of how you carry on legacies, on how we don't usually see political leaders or political families and their children continuing with the legacies. Usually when the parents are done, the children usually don't want anything to do with politics again. But she has shown us that it is possible that you can be...
A few families, Honorable Kwamna Battles.
Yes, but it takes, even Nana Akufo-Addo also came, but it takes a lot of them. There are few. But majority, their children are not too interested in going the same path or going into the same business. That's because politics in Ghana can be quite tough. And for a woman, it's extra tough. And for her, coming from the background that she's coming from, with parents like she did, she had a bigger shoes to fill. She had a big legacy on her, and she could not afford to fail. And she has not failed. She's done so well. She's given a lot of beauty to this whole business. So I would have been shocked if anybody would have found an issue with her. Of course, being who she is, eloquent, she really knows what she's going to do. And I'm hoping, as I said, to translate into the ministry, because her ministry is one of the toughest ministries, one of the emerging ministries, one of the ministries that is in the forefront of all these environmental matters that we are going through, including galamsey and our water and everything. So she has quite a lot on her plate. And from what I saw yesterday and listening to her, she can do the job. And I'm hoping she gets the support and the resources and everything she needs to make sure that she does it and she does it well. She has 2 more years, hopefully, at the ministry. Let's help her make some difference in the two years. As for coming from the NPP, why not? We've been campaigning for her because we think she deserves it. Being the daughter of the owner and founder of the NDC, it was quite strange that she wasn't even in the first list of ministers.
Founder, yes.
Founder and owner of the NDC. So it's just right. Just that she also fits the bill. She's good. She's prepared herself. She can do it. So her father's and her mother's legacy just pushes her. This is a very typical example of where preparation meets opportunity. She's prepared. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how she'll do at the ministry. Congratulations to her once again.
Okay. Theresa, I'm sure with all the unanimous approval, the government side feels they need to pat itself on the back for at least these 2 names that sailed flawlessly through the vetting process and now have been approved pending swearing in.
Okay. A very good morning to yourself, my sisters, and the good people of Ghana. Indeed, like my 2 sisters rightly said, these are people who have served our country. They are still serving. But for me particularly, I'm very happy about Dr. Senator Rollins' own, because you see, when we took over, the president promised that we're going to have at least 30% of women, constituting the government. Now, what it means is not just ministers, deputy ministers, but even government appointees and all that. So far, we've done over 20%. We've done about 23%. Having Senator Rollins adding to the number of women. You see, usually when we talk about, we've done over 20%. We've done. Yes, we have.
Cabinet.
We have. No, not cabinet. You know, when we promised 30%, it was not just about ministers and deputy ministers, like I stated. We have MCEs, DCEs that are women, even normal government appointees and all that. So for me, this one goes to add to it. And then as women, it is not just because we are women, we are asking for a place at the table, but because we are capable and we can deliver. Okay, so for me, it's yesterday I was so happy. Obviously, the 2 of them, they all qualify, Honorable Ayariga and Dr. Senator. But trust me, the fact that I saw her on that list, even when the name was mentioned, I was happy Not, and when I say I was, not just me, even NDC women, because we do talk, we were happy. We gave ourselves thumbs up, hoping that yes, it would, the number of women will increase over the time. Now, so we would only wish them the best. We know they can deliver. My sister just mentioned her ministry falls directly under the environmental issues and all that. Let's see. I hope that indeed we will see a better, I mean, the change is happening, but at least it will continue, and then we'll see the best for our country. So we want to wish them the best as they serve. This is a call to serve. Very important. They are here to serve us. So we pray that we would give them all the support, and then they will deliver on that mandate.
Okay. So in the vetting process, I heard Hajia refer to the Honorable Ayariga's comment about the National Cathedral, and I want to pick your thoughts on it. And I'll start with Ellen on this, because essentially it was an Akufo-Addo administration project that courted much controversy. Were you surprised at Mahama Ayariga's comments about the cathedral in itself being a good idea, but the execution process was flawed? Were you surprised by that comment?
No. The minister that the one who had been reshuffled, the Banda MP, Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, has vetted, and on numerous occasions had also said that the same thing, that he felt that the cathedral was too politicized, and that it's a good initiative. So I'm not surprised that Honorable Ayariga, going to be the Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, would say the same thing, because that is the truth. The truth is that what I am surprised about is the hypocrisy of the NDC put together, because if this thing could not be built, it is them. They did it. They politicized it. They called people thieves. They told all Ghanaians that the pastors and the religious leaders who were put in charge of the cathedral were stealing from the cathedral project. That's what they did, led by Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa, moving from radio station to radio station, TV station to TV station, calling people names, calling people thieves with no evidence, and that is what brought the whole project to a halt with a court order. There was an injunction on the whole, cathedral project. There was a court injunction.
With the benefit of hindsight, would the former administration reconsider putting public funds into that project and keeping it as originally intended? The funding for the project was
public funds was going to be used as seed fund and then the land. But the rest of the money for the cathedral was coming from people. People donated. Have you forgotten they had a short code? Churches donated. We even had the chief imam donating. People from Ghanaians, Christians all over the world were donating. And so the space for it and everything, government at that time had every right to also give it. And there was nothing wrong with it. What was wrong with the whole process was the politicization that went into it, and the vilifying people on it.
Were Ghanaians justified to say at the time when we had more pressing matters, some of the finances that were put there could have been better applied elsewhere?
Finance,
with the benefit of hindsight.
We don't have pressing matters again.
We still do.
So we still do we have pressing matters. And as Jesus said in the Bible, the poor would always be with you. So because we have pressing matters, we shouldn't do anything. We have pressing matters, but the government is building 261 24-hour markets and leaving Agenda 111 hospitals. We still have pressing matters. So those pressing matters that's not coming. It's a project. It wasn't supposed to be built within a year. There was a whole timeline on how it was going to be built, how we're going to make money. Well, if Honorable Ayariga says he will try and build it, he can try.
He says he will consult the leadership of the Christian community and get some consensus up to him. But on how to proceed.
Some of us who felt slighted, who felt that people were vilified for no reason about this cathedral matter. Some of us have prayed to God. Some of us have also prayed to our gods. We have cursed the NDC government. They should leave the cathedral sitting down alone. They should leave it. Honorable Ayariga, please find other things to do. There are 1,001 things for you to do at the ministry. Leave the cathedral to sit down. After all, it was thieves who wanted to build it. So,
Helen, you see, cases are serious things.
Me personally, and I haven't hidden it.
So is it the cathedral you've cursed?
The NDC party, I have done that. And I did it publicly. That if they do not come out and come and tell us where the thieves, whoever stole whatever it is, and publicly apologize to His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo and the NPP for vilifying them for just trying to build the cathedral. And they don't know when they go near the cathedral, all the gods in Ghana, all the rivers in Ghana, I have done it and I did it publicly. Because, I did it because it is extremely painful. No, it's extremely painful that you have people who have over the years, people like Madam Joyce Aye, people like the apostle, the Pentecost former, I've forgotten his name, the chairman of the whole committee, people like Reverend Kusi. You insulted them, you vilified them, you called them thieves, and today you come and tell us that, there's nothing wrong with the project. You want to do it.
He said the execution was flawed.
Leave it.
And I didn't hear him say he wanted.
Go ahead. That's why I said some of us have cursed them. They can go ahead. Oh no, but please, it is a project I don't think the NDC should touch. They should just leave it. It got to a point, they said we're going to use it for, instead of the cathedral, they're changing the purpose of the cathedral to something else. The 24-hour economic people were talking about that. Whatever it is that they want to do with that place, I would advise them that they leave it be.
Theresa.
They've done too much evil with it.
Theresa, any comments?
You see, I mean, from where my sister is coming from, I really don't want to go there. But the point is, the National Cathedral, we raised a lot of concerns because you and I know that right from the onset, it was a personal pledge that His Excellency Nana Addo made with God. Okay. Then it turns and naturally from all of a sudden it becomes a national, as it were, something that taxpayers' money would be used. Having said that, we saw that over $90 million, I mean, close to around that range.
Charge said 225.96 million Ghana cedis.
Okay, was used
as seed money.
As seed money
by the 31st of May 2020,
including the what we term the biggest hole in the world. Now, what we were against was the fact that that amount of money was very high, and you can't then, as a minority, you can't say that we are not justified to raise concerns.
So is Mahamudu in effect saying that if the Christian community approves or gives an indication of wanting the project to go ahead, more monies will be found to complete the project?
Thelma, I wish as I speak now I can really tell you what exactly his plans would be. I wish I can go into it.
But if you've chastised that project, like Ellen said, the Honourable Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa had issues with even the membership of the project, the monies that had been sunk into it, the allegations of misappropriation of funds and all that. Why would
let's not forget
two substantive or two back-to-back local government and religious affairs ministers allude to the project being a good project when the NDC has consistently said we do not need it?
So now let's not forget that she raised concerns as to some members on the board that to her were not treated right. Let's not forget that on that same board we had men of God, who resigned and left the board. When all these issues came up, we clearly had some men of God who said that, no, we will not be on that board voluntarily. So I'm saying that we can sit here, we can do all the politics with it, but let's just accept that there was something fundamentally wrong. And that's about it. Having said that, are we saying that the S amount of money that has been sunk into that project, are we leaving it? That's a question we should also ask. Are we leaving it? And therefore, if you ask me, probably it is on that faith that we will now have the Minister of Environment and even his successor saying that it's a project we want to look at. Now,
the local government.
The local government. said that is a project probably he would want to have a look at it. What he didn't say, he did not add that the state is going to fund it. There was nothing about funding. There was no mention about funding in any way, because clearly, I can confidently tell you, sis, that even if government will say I'm coming in to do, as it were, support the funding, we will have some, and just like he said, churches, individuals coming in and all that to support it, because now we don't have that fund. But the point is, we can't also say that because the project was started and we spoke about it, we should now leave it. So I mean, I'm sure that now the whole it has gathered all the mosquitoes in Accra. The point we made was the fact that it was so excessively, money has been sunk into it too much. And then, just like she said, you would want to say that some people were victimized and all that. But I'm saying that on that same score, we had men of God who decided to separate themselves from that same board. Are we saying that they didn't see anything wrong anywhere? They might not have spoken. A lot didn't speak. I never heard any of them speaking. But I'm saying that they might have a reason why they stepped out. Okay, so if you ask me, you can say whatever you want to say. But the point is, we thought and we still think that the money that was spent in digging that biggest hole in the world was too much. As to if we would want to go back and revisit it and visit it, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said when he took over that every project that the previous government were doing, we're going to continue it.
Right.
Okay, so let's see how it goes.
So as the story unfolded, at some point, Deloitte was brought in to investigate that National Cathedral project, and they conducted an audit into the National Cathedral project. And the presidency at the time said the audit showed that some $58 million was already paid or committed, plus another 39 million outstanding, which would approximately make that 97 million USD. And the situation was striking because despite those financial commitments, the project site remained essentially at excavation or at foundation stage. And that's why these matters have continued to be brought up from time to time. Of course, payments made to some of the contractors, including the Sir David Ajayi and Associates, and the rest have also been questioned. But Hajia, you raised it essential. I want to give you the last word on this. And I also want to ask another question about Dr. Zaneto as we wrap up on this particular topic. But this is what the NDC says, that Mahama Yariga, the honorable member, did not say where the monies were going to come from, only that some consultations would be had.
No, I think that's exactly what I heard him saying. And then that's if the president approves of it. So which means maybe he will discuss it with the president, that's the appointing authority. If they see it to be important, maybe they can give it a try. But I'll plead with my sister Helen. Helen, as for the case, I beg you. I beg you. Because you are a Christian, isn't it? And Allah said we should forgive, isn't it? Because you see, it is a lesson that all of us as politicians, even though I'm drifting away from politics in a way, I'm into my gender activism now. Yes, that's why any of you contesting, I'll come to your platform and campaign for you. Thelma, I think what happened between the NDC and NPP, let's even start it from 2000, or maybe should we say when the Kokui administration took over, and then NDC, and then NPP, and then NDC. I think there are so many lessons that we have to learn from, because if a particular party in government is doing something, and then maybe another party, because in opposition, you bastardize and do whatever, and then now you are in power, you see the need for you to reconsider what you were condemning. That is what I'm saying. At least if we are doing certain things, we should be careful with the way we speak against, especially state institutions too. I will never say that I will not condemn or maybe criticize a state institution, but I'll be careful with the choice of words, because those words will come and haunt you. And this is what we are seeing now. It will haunt you. So for me, Telma, I always say that we have a challenge as a country because we don't have a national development plan. Anytime a government comes, it's either maybe 2020 development plan, 2050, something. So there's no consensus in the country. We said, we've practiced multi-democracy from 1992 till today. Where did we go wrong? Where did we get it right? And then we'll sit down and say, enough is enough. Okay. We know I'm CPP, you are NDC, you are MPP. But where is the converging point that we will look at things that were near to the benefit of Kenyans, not our manifesto promises or to satisfy anybody's ego? You understand? So that's what I was saying. And then you said the next.
I have another observation from Dr. Zanet Wajiman-Rawlings' vetting. Yesterday, some people across social media, a lot of people commended her poise and her decorum, as all of you have said during the vetting. But she also raised some very nostalgic memories when she recalled a time when she would go to Antina or Wache joint, and you would have to carry your own bowl
yes.
to go and buy whatever she wanted. And the key thrust of that anecdote that she shared was, we need to go back to basics when it comes to issues confronting the environment. And she related that with strong backing for the EPA's pending ban on the use of polystyrene products effective January 1, 2027. And I wonder if it brought back any memories for any of you at all.
Because, you know, at first when you go to buy food, you carry your own bowl to go and buy. But now, as the accounts will say, you understand? Even some people, look at this wache leaves. It's very, very important. It gives the wache some kind of aroma. But people will say, oh no, I want to photo rubber, mommy. Meanwhile, if the food is hot and you put it in a plastic, it has another effect.
So you got some memories?
Yes, of course. When she started it, I said, wow. I was trying to remember, was it a Nyaniba? You know, the grandmother.
That's what somebody was asking on social media. That what did she go and buy wache from her childhood?
Nyaniba said that was where the grandmother was, and that was where we were all based. People don't know this relationship. You see, yesterday when I went there, people started attacking me why I went to the vetting.
Now maybe you are in this.
No, but I'm a gender advocate. I was at Honorable Asle's vetting. I was at Otiko's vetting. I was at the Minister for Gender now, her vetting. Most of the female this thing. And I was at Haruna's vetting because it's my cousin. You understand my point? So apart from politics, we don't have any life. No, we don't have any life.
Okay. Ellen,
if Ellen is appointed today,
I'll join you.
No, because if she will soon be appointed a deputy something, I'm praying. So if they're going to, I'll go and support her.
Ellen, so this is attitudinal change. Dr. Zanet was saying, let's go back to basics, and that the people who did it in the past, they knew what they were doing. And the plastics have just made everything more complicated with the flooding situation recently and the fact that a chunk of the waste were found to be these plastic and polystyrene products.
I agree with her. We need to sort this plastic matter out. As a nation, we have to solve it. Otherwise, it will swallow us. I know it's a whole worldwide matter, but every nation has to deal with it on their own. And whilst we are talking about banning this whole thing, which I agree with, what are we also bringing in to replace?
The EPA has been on an education campaign, and they are in KJTR now, they are in Kumasi now, and from the conversations, the introductions of paper alternatives have been very strong.
It's not just...
And those are some of the items that are being, they are even asking the companies that manufacture polystyrene products to start the process of transitioning to these safer alternatives as a business opportunity and not a challenge.
You know, I told you when I went to Tamale and my cousin was bringing me food, he bought it in a paper. That's what the wife is using. Well packaged.
But I asked the question, what's the cover of that paper?
No, it's like... I know, you know, okay, you've raised an important point because some of the paper, the covers were plastic.
So they can change it to
Some
paper.
are equally not plastic, some are
Yes,
the
yes.
same paper.
But you know, Telma, even if the cover is plastic, we can use the cover for something else. You know, but we don't want the food being put in a plastic.
Okay.
This thing.
Ellen, wrap up
So
on this
we
one
have
for
to
me.
be very practical about the replacement. Otherwise, we are going to be talking and EPA will do everything that they are doing. And still, people will still continue using it because there's no replacement. So what are the practical steps that the EPA and now the Ministry of Environment are going to be taking? Those companies that produce them, are we helping them to change their machines to not...
Are they getting some government support?
Government with a subvention or something to help them,
Tax reliefs,
whatever it is, to bring in new machines that will produce the paper packages instead of the plastic ones. What is our plan for clearing those who would still have some in stock? Right now, how are we? We are almost 6 months away from the implementation date, less than 6 months. Have we stopped them from even producing? Because some people produce a year in advance, 6 months in advance. Those companies, as we speak now, they should be running out of stock. And then they will be bringing in so that the production process is a smooth process. You go into the market, if there's no plastic for you to buy, you will buy paper. It's as simple as that. So that the whole process becomes smooth. The wholesalers, the retailers, everybody understands.
End to end
so that when I get into Mokola, I get into KJT, I get wherever I buy those products from, there is no plastic. Different paper products. You carry it like that and you go and use it like that. But if we don't do that and we just talk about it, Thelma, we'll go and come back this time next year.
Theresa is here, so perhaps we can ask if the suggestions have been put on the table, and I'm hoping it has, to ensure that the companies who are producing these things, for the sake of the environment, are giving the support that they need to transition smoothly into the safer alternatives that are being proposed.
Okay, so I know that there's been a lot of stakeholders engagement, but truth is I can't really divulge as to how far or what it was about. But the chief executive of EPA has engaged a lot of this plastic producers and all that on these things. But the truth is that the fact that we all accepted that it's a menace, it's something that has to be worked on. And we're all talking about the planning. Aside, just like my sister Ellen said, just ensuring that these companies that are producing the supposed plastic, they are evolving into the paper and all that. I think as a country, we need to be intentional about it. We need to, and we have to, because this thing is killing us. Other countries have done the same, okay? Even in Africa, we've had countries that have moved away entirely from plastic and then to others. So we have our leaves, we have the paper that you know that even with time, you can burn, or even when rain falls on it. We all know how paper is. So for me, the fact that it's a national conversation that we all need to stick to it and then make sure that we fight it. It's a war. This thing over the years, just like Dr. Zaneta said, when I was growing up, when your mother sent you, there was particular bag, okay, for me, that when you are, for instance, my mom sends me to go and buy bread, there is a bag specifically that you take along to get the bread, okay, so that at least if the bread is in paper, she doesn't want you to hold the bread for everybody, so you put it in a bag. Today we are so comfortable, so you go to the market, you buy tomatoes, polythene, onion, polythene, fish, polythene. By the time you get home from that small shopping bag, you can count about 10 or 15 polythene bags.
That needs to change.
So that has to change.
Thank you, ladies. Yeah. Yesterday, Parliament was busy, and one of the approvals also, or the things that happened, was the official assumption of office of the new leader of the majority caucus in Parliament, the Honourable James Agalga, who took over from the Honourable Mahamudu, who was nominated for local government and chieftaincy religious affairs minister. So that also happened in Parliament yesterday. But the big thing after those, or before even those approvals came, on board was the minority's walkout on the vetting of the 3 Supreme Court nominees, and the minority boycotted the proceedings of the 3 over what it described as unnecessarily rushed process. The minority leader, the Honorable Alexander Afenyo-Markin, argued that there is currently no vacancy at the Supreme Court bench to warrant the urgency attached to the nominations. He says the minority's objection was not against the nominees themselves, but the procedure and time frame for the vetting. But the chairman of the Appointments Committee, the Honorable Bernard Ahiafo, rejected the objection, describing the minority's concern as flimsy, hollow, baseless, and other things. And the disagreement resulted in heated exchanges, after which the minority walked out of the committee before the vetting of the 3 Supreme Court nominees proceeded. The minority subsequently proceeded with the exercise, and we're told that the 3 were subsequently approved. Earlier on in our news bulletin, this is what we had to report.
The House did not pass any resolution.
Honorable Minority Leader, with all due respect, when you are making your submissions, you called on me.
I didn't call on. I said resolve.
Rule
no,
on the
I didn't
matter.
say rule. I said resolve. Don't get me wrong. No, resolve.
Honorable Minority Leader,
no, please.
Let your microphone be off.
No, Chairman, don't start your thing. Don't start it and then finish and think you can control narrative. We are being very decent. Don't try it.
Minority Leader,
don't start it, Chairman.
You did not move a motion before the committee. You raised a preliminary objection.
It's not a ruling.
And the preliminary objection is supposed to be ruled upon by the rules of the House.
No, which rule? Quote it.
And Speaker said clearly that he didn't think it was necessary to move a motion to suspend the relevant standing orders because the recall specifically indicates what the recall is for. And he, as Speaker, had given us clear instruction what he wanted us to do. We are pleading with you. These judges, if we treat them that way, we will not be fair. Honestly speaking, we will not be fair. Because it will look like we are self-serving as a parliament. We are willing to waive the rule for ourselves and our colleagues, and then not wait for them. We are willing to waive the rules for people who are being nominated to go and serve the president. But we are not willing to waive the rules so that people who are nominated to go and work with the Chief Justice, he too gets his people on time to work with. I don't think that is fair. That's discrimination. And for me, if you insist, I'll give you back your vetting this morning. And then, wait till the day that you are willing to vet them, then I'll join them to be vetted.
Today, if you need water to wash your hand, I have a bottle of water for you.
Welcome back. I'll start with Ellen on this. So the minority did not like the fact that it had only 3 days to go through the vetting process of the Supreme Court justices, with the arguments that the Honorable Afenyo-Markin made. The Appointments Committee chairman said, well, it's still going to go on, and it did go on.
So the minority had their say, and the majority had their way. Big deal. It always happens. And for some of us, and those of us in the NPP, I've said it, and I'll repeat it. Every single judge, whether it's the High Court judge, whether it is the Appeals Court judge, whether it is a Supreme Court judge, that is vetted and approved in this era of the NDC is an NDC judge. So for us, what will come will come.
But the judges who were vetted,
they are NDC judges.
Based on
President Mahama's promise in opposition, and how President Mahama hounded out the former Chief Justice, and how he said His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo has filled, especially the Supreme Court, with his people, with MPP judges. And when he becomes president, he would also do the same thing. In fact, he encouraged NDC lawyers to actually put themselves up to become judges. So in my estimation, and in the estimation of a lot of Ghanaians who support the MPP, every single judge that is appointed by this administration is an NDC judge.
The Honorable Afenyo-Markin said they had nothing against the personalities being submitted, the names being presented to be vetted for those positions, only the procedural process that had been stuck to or that had been adopted for that appointment to be made. He didn't say that the judges are NDC judges.
None of us have any personal issues with any judge. I don't know them. I can't have any issues with them. And I believe that there are judges who have really gone through whatever it is that they have to go through to get to the position that they are in. But I'm just repeating the words of His Excellency the President, that the judges who were working in Anado's time were MPP judges. Therefore, every single judge that in fact, let me add the lower courts, circuit court judges, the district court, everybody, you are all NDC judges. Now that they have really approved the tribunals one, all of you are NDC. The tribunals people too, all of you. Whether those who are going to be appointed in the future.
Does it help in the education of the public?
Every one of you. That is my opinion. I'm stating my opinion. That I believe that all of you are NDC judges.
Theresa, let me come to you. The minority also said that the governing party has abandoned its previous position to what it called packing the Supreme Court, and the minority leader referred directly to a comment the now former majority leader said in 2024 when it came to the number of persons sent to the Supreme Court. In fact, apart from the 3 days, the minority at the subsequent press conference also raised this numbers argument that who are we replacing? The courts are on legal vacation. Why are we in a hurry to bring these judges on board? The majority leader, Honorable Ayaga, attempted to answer, but the minority still proceeded to boycott the proceedings.
For me, I have said, and I'm sure on this particular station, I really have an issue when it comes to, I know it's within their right that if, a minority caucus can walk out. I know it's within their right. They've not broken any law. But for me personally, I always find that a bit some way, especially when there are national issues to be discussed. Now, we all know that the Parliament of Ghana, either to just this week, was recalled for a reason, okay? So, having said that, they were given a short notice. They were given that short notice because they were home. In quotes, some attending to their constituency, doing other things. But they were summoned back, partly because of this issue and others. So it is not something new.
But is it urgent?
Well,
that's the question the minority is asking.
When you say, is it urgent? In the mind of, it might sound not urgent to me, okay? But in the mind of the speaker, and having said, let's not forget that ministers of state were also vetted. So the vetting of Supreme Court judges were added, okay? So I'm saying that, are we saying that for the past, I'm not too sure, this week, I'm not too sure if it was Monday or Tuesday that they were called. They didn't know that as part of the vetting that will be done, we'll have some Supreme Court judges being vetted. They knew. But the usual politics. Now, you would say that, and from what they are saying, under their tenure, we raised concerns about the number of judges that have been
packed. So from what they're saying, it's on public record.
That's fine. That's fine. So, okay, let me rephrase it. And we all spoke about it, the good people of Ghana. You can't compare the number of Supreme Court judges that were appointed as to the number of Supreme Court judges that we have so far. Having said that also, it's important to know that there is no really a cap as to the number of Supreme Court judges that can be appointed. Usually what happens is when people are retiring, then they are filled up.
Has that happened before? Because in the instance that the Honorable Afenyo-Markin referred the Honorable Ayariga to, it was something along the lines of two justices who were also en route to retirement and an attempt to replace those judges.
Are we saying that? this year, we won't have some judges going on retirement early next year.
And that's why some, including the minority, say it's double standard. Because if you opposed it in the past, if you did not like it being done or carried through that route in the past, why are you traveling?
I'm saying that we spoke about the number.
Okay.
Are we saying, can you compare the number we have so far to what was done within 8 years? No.
It is not.
No. Clearly. No, we've not. But you see, I for one, personally,
you should not just allow
personally.
The numbers.
So I have my. Is it purely a numbers game? It's purely a numbers.
So let's play it.
No.
Please put it up.
It's not purely a numbers game for you.
Not at all. You see, for me, Thelma, I really, and like I started these issues because just like Honorable Ayariga said, we are beginning to reduce the discussion of our judges. And this one, I will say it.
When you chase out the chief justice,
listen, we did not chase that. Was there no issue about the chief justice? There was. Let's not. No. What did Mahama? Did Mahama have a name? No. Did Mahama have any take in making sure that? And I love her name, Auntie Araba. Did Mahama have any take in making sure she goes home? He didn't. She went through the process. What happened? We were here. Were we not here? Let's not go into it. It becomes a problem when we want to play politics with everything. Listen. I'm saying that the good people of Ghana, let's sit it. There are issues we'll discuss it and do politics.
In Anado's time,
my darling,
politics.
for me,
President Mohammed's time, it is politics.
And for me, there are issues that I will come and sit here. If it's politics, I will do politics. If it is nationalistic, let's be nationalistic. Okay, but in any case, I'm saying that why wouldn't they even stay and be part of it?
It's not by force to stay.
When I started, I said it. But I'm saying that for me, and I'm sure it is. If we should do referendum now, we'll hear the number of Ghanaians who are not happy with that thing. Probably it has to be looked at. There are issues. Let's sit down and discuss it. But as a minority, and this one, it is not like it has even happened in our tent. But I'm saying that personally.
So I'm on the Judicial Service page right now. In 2020, the number of Supreme Court justices was 18. 2021, it was 16. By the end of the year, 2020-2021 legal year, the number had fallen from 18 to 16. And by the end of the 2021-2022 legal year, it had fallen further to 14. So 2022, 14. 23, 12. 24, 15. 3 new justices, which was the situation the Honorable Afenyo Makin was referring to. 3 new justices were sworn in on 3rd of January 2024, which brought the number at the bench to 15. In 2025, the court has had 13 justices in April of 2025. President Mahama has nominated or appointed 6 of the 7 nominees who were vetted, bringing the bench to 19 if all 6 were added to the existing. So the 18, as at 2026, 18, including the Chief Justice. This is according to the Judicial Service of Ghana website.
I am also sure that we've also heard the Chief Justice countless occasions also raise the fact that the number of cases they have, there are days that it's overwhelming. The Chief Justice have said this. If you've never chanced on it, raise it. But I'm saying that the Chief Justice has raised these concerns before. So I am saying that we can do all the politics with it, okay, but let's have a national agreement, a discussion about this. As for my sister, I know she has taken her stand, and rightly so. I mean, it is her. I mean, I won't, but I'm saying that you can't say that in squaring the numbers, we have appointed more. She raised concerns about it being NDC judges. My darling, we all know how many years you need to have served before you can even rise to that occasion. These are people who have served our country and they are still serving. They've gone through the mill, okay, and then time has come. I will not want to reduce and I have never reduced the conversation in any time even when we were in opposition, where it was as if the court is being piled by MPP. I won't talk towards that line. I don't want to go there.
But it has been told. That line has been told by key figures in the NDC before. And it's on that basis that the minority leader is saying, if you say we packed the court then, can we also say you are packing the court now?
Let me say this. Let me say this. If you would have a majority leader come up with an issue within 12 hours, less than 12 hours, few hours, Supreme Court judges are gathered together. Okay, now certain issues create an impression. An impression is very important. Now, when we took over, you realize that we lost the case, right? Forgive me. In the Northern Upper, there was an MP. When the name comes, I'll mention it. But there was an issue with an MP seat where we, as an NDC, together with our PC, but what happened? We lost, didn't we? We did. In fact, our majority chief whip, Honorable Defiamo, was so angry. He was not happy. Was he? It was under our 10, right? Who was in power? We lost it. I heard him say that he will go back, they will appeal. As I speak to you now, I have not heard anything about it. But I'm saying that we lost to that case. Are we not in power? Were we not in power then? So I'm saying that when you just juxtapose the issues and how it went, you have no choice than to sit down and say that, is it that a hand somewhere is manipulating? But think about it. Why did we lose that case? Are we still not in power? But we lost it.
Okay.
So let's not create, for me, some issues are a bit difficult naturally because of the way I am. But I'm saying that let's not, when we need to reduce it to what we will. Okay. So you might say that in our time we said that, but you gave us reasons, some reasons to perhaps doubt it. That reason, are we seeing it now?
Let me hear from you, Hajia, on this. So the minority boycotted the vetting of the Supreme Court nominee.
You see, Telma, I always say, at times you say something, you don't know when it will start chasing you. That is what is happening now. I'm surprised Theresa was saying that there's no cap when it comes to appointments of the Supreme Court judges. So there's no cap. So a president has the right to appoint. But what did they do that time? So it's the same thing that is happening. But I'm not comfortable when an institution like the judiciary is on the floor. On the floor in the sense that being discussed whether for or against. Because if we have issues, it's the law courts that will go. It's the same judges that we are going to face. So that is why if we are dealing with especially the judiciary, we have to be careful. We're in this country. They were called names. It's a fact. So if you're saying that maybe the then Akufo-Addo-led administration was packing the court, Superior Court, and now you're also appointing more, and Theresa is telling us there's no cap, I don't really get it. I don't really get it. So between the MPP and NDC, I'll play with them. They should leave the state institutions to work independently. Because I'm sure the judges they have conscience. You cannot just take your matter to court and maybe because this person was appointed by an MPP administration or NDC administration, maybe they will put their integrity on the line and maybe will not go according to the rules of the game. Do you understand? Theresa, you're saying the Pandai case, the evidence were clear. The evidence were clear. And the court in Tamale, how he went about the thing, the Supreme Court or the Appeal Court said, no, you can't do it this way. And they reversed it. That is why we have the lower court, the Superior Court, and then the Appeal Court and the Superior Court. So for me, yesterday I was there, I saw them. But Honorable Afenyo-Markins raised an important issue. That it was discussed. It was not something that they were going to sit on, if I heard him right yesterday. And he was even calling on the clerk not to administer the oath. Because it has happened during their time when there was an objection like that, the oath was not administered. So therefore, they shouldn't do it because they are public servant or the civil servant. They shouldn't get involved in the politics of the day because government will come, government will go. So for me, but yesterday I felt it because the judge was sitting for him to be the oath to be administered and the ulabai. So I don't know why the caucus, that's the appointment committee, did not agree on certain things before they allowed the judge to come and sit there. You understand my point? Because when Honorable Senator finished, Afenyo-Markins entered, and he was saying that he excused the chair that he was coming. When he was coming back, then the appointment committee chairman said he was discharging Honorable Senator. So you could see that there was even some tension between the two leaders. Let me put it that way. So I was expecting is it the deputy speaker? That's the appointment committee chairperson. Should have given some 10-20 minutes for some discussions before they will proceed to the next item, which was the vetting of the Supreme Court judges. Because as we were exiting, they were also climbing to just... So there was no... maybe somebody will say maybe they are already built to come, so they can just come. But I realized when there was some kind of tension between the chairman and Honorable Afenyo-Markins, I would have thought that they would discuss it. It's because they said they were not expecting the judges to be vetted that day. And I asked, they are on vacation, that the Chief Justice needs them during this vacation. You see, when we are doing things, let's not do it in such a way that people will start reading meanings into everything. We could have waited maybe next week, or when Parliament resumes, they will come and be vetted. But you allow these people to come and sit, especially the first man who came and sat. I was looking at the whole thing because I was watching the proceeding and listening. In fact, I felt it. Because these are people who have gone through the mills from lower court, high court, up to appeal court. And now they are being considered for a Supreme Court judges. And then I don't know, I didn't see the Chief Justice yesterday, but I saw most of the Superior Court judges like Unikolindi and so, whom I'm very fine with. All of them were there. They were sitting down, and this kind of arguments was happening in front of them. I was not happy. So I think the majority and minority should have managed the situation before they ushered them in. Because it was a bit of embarrassment. I didn't like the way things happened yesterday. Well, when the minority were not happy, I think it's a parliamentary proceedings. You can either sit or you will maybe boycott it. But I would have wished that they would be there to ask certain questions, because honorable minority leader has alluded to the fact that they are using their numbers. And they will use the number. They will vet and they will be passed. Maybe there are certain questions to you two might have been able to ask this our Superior Court judges. Maybe if you have some doubts, that would have been an opportunity for clarity. But I think certain times we should look at the larger picture and consider certain things. That's how I see it.
Okay, any more comments on this? Because I want to raise one last issue to do with the president cutting the sword for a project at the Accra International Airport before we rise. Ellen, any rebuttals?
I do have a few comments.
Go on.
Just like it was done now, it will be done going forward. Because we told them. The last time we told them that times will change. This whole governance process is a continuous process. Today you are here, tomorrow you are here. times will change. So nobody should come and try and tell us that we shouldn't politicize, we should be nationalistic about it. The NDC was not nationalistic about anything about the judiciary. So please, nobody should come and climb any moral high horse here. It won't happen. We are politicizing it to the end. Every single judge from the lower court to the superior court who is appointed under this government, you are NDC judge. Accept that, let us move on. Every single decision you will make, every single judgment you give, especially the political ones, we are looking it through the lenses of NDC, MPP, because this is what President Mahama wants. So we'll continue it for them. Nobody should come and tell us that we are going to depoliticize the judiciary. No, the judiciary is now a political matter. It is. So please, as for this one, whether you pass them, whether you won't pass them, the minority have had their say. The majority have had their way. If those judges felt uncomfortable yesterday, the last time 3 judges were also put in front of Parliament. They went there twice.
And the majority then also raised objections to the minority bench.
And they said no. So please, and the judges themselves, I think they understand what is going on.
It's always Theresa mentioned perceptions. It's always a perception of you do me, I do you. That some people have a challenge with.
Thelma, nobody should ask me, Helen, I will not come and sit here and tell you that is not the case. It is the case. You do me, I will do you.
But you see, Thelma, this particular 3 judges, I don't know, they are from the appeals court, right?
Yeah.
They are from the appeal court.
Yeah.
Helen, is it 2 of them, was it not under the MPP that they were promoted to the appeals court?
And the NDC didn't agree.
No. Are those 2 that...
There's the same, I think one of them is part of the one that Nanado brought that they didn't agree. I think the lady, she was part and she's still going through it at this time. Are we being fair to her?
Okay.
Is it fair? But that is what we want. This is what we want as a nation. This is what President Mahama preached. One woman, she's gone through this twice. Why would you want to do that to her? At least for her sake, I'm happy that she's gone through, because it's not a pleasant situation to be in. But this is what we want.
So when will this end?
Should come I don't know.
Theresa, your last comment on this.
Sis. Nana, you can't say that, Amma. You can't say I don't have any. Now, one will go for vetting. I might go for vetting today. I might not go through. The next time I'm called, it doesn't mean that someone is victimizing me. That is there. My sister has said, my only concern is the fact that she's trying so hard. You do me, I do you. You do me, I do you. But as a nation, I keep saying, is that the best way to go? It is important. See, we will sit here, do all the politics, but I'm saying that as a nation, and then Hajia raised some concerns about the fact that there are days that as politicians, being it MPP, being it NDC, probably we sit down, we think about issues, because like we all alluded to, yesterday I watched, I was not there. I equally did not find it comfortable watching these revered servants of our nation who had gone through, and it's important, even becoming a lawyer, now that the system has been eased, but even rising from a lawyer to wherever they've risen from, they have worked so hard. Okay, so I would also want to add my voice. Probably it was done. We wouldn't know, and there was no consensus on it. But the point is, it becomes some way when we have these men and women sitting down, and it's as if I won't agree, I won't agree, we will agree, we won't agree to it. So that bit, yes, I agree. If there is a better way that we can do this, probably for, you never know that even the judicial service itself might even engage government in it. And I think they should also take an interest in it. That, see, when we send our men and our women to you, in the faith to vet them, at least let there be a decorum, because they are there with their family, their friends are watching. So that bit I agree. Okay. But when it becomes like it is politics, you do me today, I do you tomorrow, my darling, we are building a country. I don't know where that will take us.
The nominees that faced the appointments committee yesterday were Justice Sophia Benasco Essa, a Court of Appeal justice. Her standout experience is that she's been with the Ages Department. She's worked at VRA. She was at TOR. High Court experience. She's been on the Court of Appeal and previously nominated to the Supreme Court in 2024. The Justice Edward Amoako Asante from the Court of Appeal was a former president of the ECOWAS Court of Justice for 6 years, and he has 33 plus years of legal and judicial experience. And private legal practitioner Anthony Forson Jr. was a former Ghana Bar Association president with 25 plus years experience, and also a major commercial. He's done some major commercial and legal work. Now that they have approved, if all the other processes continue, the three will join the Supreme Court and the number will go from 18 to 21. Hajia, your last comment on this, because I want to talk about the president.
The highest in Nanado's time was 15. The highest in President Mohammed's time is going to be 21. And he was screaming and jumping about people parking the courts. And you are telling us that we should. According to his definition. I'm not saying it, according to President Mohammed's definition. 15 is parked. So 21 is what?
Thelma, we are talking about people who have worked through their years of experience and other things. I don't want to sit here and say something that might touch their integrity. I think politicians should learn in such a way that we don't put the judiciary especially in a very tight corner, that we have the situation whereby we'll be calling these are NDC judges and these are MPP judges. I see them as Ghana judges, you understand? Because whether we like it or not, we will go and face them. And then some too might not take kindly to maybe our utterances. You understand? So that's why I'm calling on the NDC and MPP. Should leave the judiciary alone. Are they there based on merit, or they were just picked to be there? Like the way His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo also appointed some people, but they were refused to be vetted. And that has brought this whole about. If it's anything at all, you see, I want to see a situation whereby this, when we were growing up, judges were revered by Swain Banglu, Bolga. Before you even go there, you know that this is a place that you cannot just go and be walking around just like that. Just like that. You remember Liz, who was with Ghanaian Times or something? You remember Liz? Oh, she was with Ghanaian Times, TikTok. Liz something, I've forgotten her name. Her father was a judge in Boga. The mother taught me in kindergarten. I still remember the amazing Kwenwa. The day I told her, she was surprised. We were sitting on the same set. Apparently, she was the one who was taking care of us when the mother, so because she had a nursery school in Boga. So please, the judges, yesterday, as I said, in fact, I really felt it. And I think going forward, Parliament should improve the way they do their work, especially when it comes to the appointment committee. Okay. We should try and build consensus. We should try and understand each other before. If you are vetting minister, Daaku, your colleagues, MPs on it, but these are another arm of government, which is the judiciary. So when they come and then they are subjected to this kind of thing, I don't think it is good. That is my personal opinion.
Thank you. Yesterday, President John Mahama cut the sword for a multi-tiered, multi-purpose car park and airport hotels complex at the Accra International Airport, and the 7-story mixed-use complex at Terminal 3 Enclave will have a 7-story car park. It will have about 2,030 parking spaces, 2 hotels with a combined capacity of about 370 rooms. We are told it will have a pedestrian connector linking the complex directly to the airport terminal, shopping mall, food court, retail spaces, offices spaces for rent, a sky lounge for entertainment and leisure, and also a sky observatory which would allow visitors to watch aircraft takeoffs and landings. The The project is expected to take approximately 24 months to complete. A significant aspect is the financing. President John Mahama said the airport infrastructure projects are being financed from internally generated resources and the balance sheets of the Ghana Airport Company Limited, GACL, and the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, GCAA, rather than direct allocations from the central government. And he commended them for not asking or forcing for any money for these projects. He specifically stated that government had not provided the airport company or the Civil Aviation Authority a single cedi for the projects. The new car park and hotel complex it will have a new air traffic control tower, and like we said, it's being carried on the balance sheets of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. I'll start with Theresa on this.
Yes. Okay, so yesterday, indeed, it was another good news for our nation, Ghana. And for me, the bit, just like you rightly said, when President said that this project is being started without necessarily any funding from state coffers. Now, what this means is other SOEs, other stakeholders, other companies should find a way, raising their IGF to engage in such projects. It's very important. Okay, so it's going to be funded by the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority itself and then other stakeholders. We want to recommend them, okay, and then by saying this, add that other institutions will emulate and then ensure that together we build our nation. Now we are already enjoying the Terminal 3, okay? We are enjoying the Terminal 3 already, which is raking a lot of revenue for us. And then what this means is this is going to bring in more revenue because, like you stated, hotels, car park, and all that. As a country, we always say that Ghana is the gateway to Africa. Now, what this means is going to open us up the more, okay? And then at the end of the day, as a nation, we'll have cause to rejoice and say that indeed, years ago when we said that we are a gateway to Africa, we are still a gateway that you can look up to. But the most important thing is let's see other SOEs emulating. It might not be as big as this because guess what? Every SOE and how much they generate depending on which space you find yourself. But I'm saying that in their own small way, they can do something.
But if the agencies are government-owned and they are government regulatory bodies, can we say that it's not government money that is being used to do these things?
Now, so what it means, just like President said, I'm happy that you did not run to Honorable Ato Forson to go for money and start this. But I'm saying that for government agencies, it belongs to government. Of course, it belongs to the state. But for every agency, they also raise their own internal generated funds. Okay, that is important. So instead of, because there are some, over the years, and then the public's audit report has shown, there are days that some agencies will raise huge sums of money. At the end of the day, you see that it is depleted and you can't even count to one project. Okay, but I'm saying that the narrative is changing. And it's important to add that for every SOE, your IGF might not be in quantum. It might not be as high as what Ghana Civil Aviation is raising. But I'm saying that in your own space, you can also start some. As we speak here, I would not be surprised that probably as the project goes on, if Ghana Civil Aviation will now run to government and say that, okay, I've gotten to an S amount and I think that you can come in, then that's fine. But the fact that they have started it from the scratch, I'm saying that it is something that has to be applauded, and then in so doing, ask other agencies to emulate. And it's important. It might not be as big as this, but I'm saying that we are building a nation. So little drops of water, then we can just like the accounts will say, and then collectively we'll move the nation forward.
Okay. Hajia, I'll come to you on this. So we are not told publicly the total project costs. I don't think I've heard that anyway, but we've been told all these other things about how it will be cashless, there'll be more parking spaces and all that.
Yes, yesterday I saw it briefly. Is it a new airport or the same place that they're
the same Accra International Airport in the Terminal 3 area?
I'm looking at the space. I'm looking at the space because, you know, most of the airport lands have been encroached on, taken. And so when I heard that, I thought maybe we were going to build another airport somewhere because I heard something like easing of congestion, you know. So, well, you know, whether we like it or not, our airport is one of the nice airports in West Africa, let me put it that way. I have a problem when it comes to airports transactions. We go out there to solicit for support. We take loans to come and build our nations. And then these loans comes with huge conditionalities. But we have a situation whereby the traffic at the airport is huge. And how many ordinary Ghanaians use the airports? Tell me, I'm saying this because when you go to UK, when you go to US, you don't use the trolleys free. You pay for it. So even if we are charging 10 cedis, we can make a lot of money to be expanding our airports. But if you talk, people will say, oh, how are you going to go? But is it the ordinary people who use the airport? So if they are going to build the airport by themselves, civil aviation, and I think they are raking enough money at the airport there. Because look at the shops at the airport, the monies they are paying. Look at the traffic there, and so on and so forth. So if it's going to bring revenue to the country, why not?
Okay.
And then we are not going to, but at least we should know the details of the project. One, how much is going to be spent on the project. Cutting a sword, fine. But what monies are we going to use? As the civil aviation, or for that matter, the airport company, this is, maybe they've been able to declare profits for several years in such a way that those monies are going to be channeled through that. We want clarity in such a way that in the next 4 months after the comments of the project, then they will have to rush to Jubilee House and say, oh, His Excellency, we say we can do it, but now please talk to Ato Forcing to come to our aid. I think we need some more and better, if not, why not?
Okay.
Are we not proud of Terminal 3? We are proud of Terminal 3. So if there are additions, it is welcome.
Ellen, I'll hear
it
from
is
you
Ghana.
Now. Multi-tiered, multi-purpose car park and airport hotels complex at Terminal 3. 7 stories, over 2,000 parking spaces. 120, we are told, 5-star hotel rooms and 250 3-star hotel rooms, other facilities, shopping mall, food court, and the rest.
The Ghana Airports Company makes enough to do this. So I'm not surprised they are doing this. It's been part of their long-term projects for a very, very long time. So if they have enough money to do this without government subvention, that is excellent. Mm-hmm. Starting the project is not the issue. Finishing it and finishing it well.
24 months is the project.
Exactly. So I'm sure they have the money there, because when you look at the airport operations and what they do, anybody who will tell you that Ghana Airports Company it makes a loss, it means the person is a thief. There are so many opportunities for them to make money for government. That government doesn't have to put in too much. It should be a profit-making situation for government. Other SOEs, I'm sure in their own small ways, can look at them and do them because they don't have the opportunities that they have. For making money. Sure. So I think it's a good project. But the president made a comment, and I think that's something we should also happen, where he was concerned about extorting money from visitors and what do you call it? People begging visitors who are coming in. He made a statement that the airport had made some efforts, the airport company, the management, to stop people from doing that, which is true, they have, but the efforts need to be, they have to do it more, because it is, and the president said that it's embarrassing for us, and he's right. that you're entering Ghana. Look at the number of people who enter Ghana. Just last weekend, there was a Hollywood wedding right here in Ghana. Can you imagine that these people from Hollywood are entering Ghana and officials, state officials, wearing uniforms, begging them for $100? I'm not saying that is what happened, but as one of the customs people had been reassigned for begging somebody for money that the person was recorded. That is an embarrassing situation. It doesn't give a good image of Ghana. We are not a nation of beggars. We are not. So for this one, I totally agree with the president. Ghana Airports Company they have cameras everywhere. They have to chase all those people out. If somebody wants to give you something, that is nice. We all have to take gifts. But remember, that if you take a gift, you also have to pay gift tax. You have to declare it. You're a government officer. We should stop that begging at the airport. It's embarrassing, it's uncomfortable, and we make our visitors sad.
Okay. The president also spoke about, Theresa, he spoke about expansion of the Ghana Airport Company services beyond the established airports that we have. He talked about upcoming development in Bolga and Wa and other places. The key question is, will these lead to a reduction in airfare for domestic air travel? Because Accra, I keep saying Accra to Kumasi, Accra to anywhere is more expensive than sometimes cities within the West African enclave. And it's very, very worrying.
I get the question, and then rightly so. I mean, we should intentionally think about that, because I remember we were going for a funeral at Kumasi, and then the amount was mentioned. I'm like, hey, some of us. I'm saying that I think then it was about 5,500
for the round trip.
For the round trip.
Yeah. Oh, that time it's shot to 6,000 something. Maybe you didn't check. I know the funeral you're talking about.
I think about a few months ago, but that was high. How many people can afford this? But as we replicate other airports around, I think that it's important. Prices has to be looked at. I'm sure the ministry is having a look at it. And then usually when there is no much competition, it's also a problem. I'm not too sure. I've not checked how many domestic too. So it's not competitive enough. Okay, so no, I'm making a point.
But how many people can afford to go
but
into
even the few,
the air transport?
Says, you'll be surprised. I might not be able to, but there are people who don't travel to just Tamale just for traveling sake. Probably to transact business transaction. There is a time frame. You just want to get there, finish with your meeting, and come back. Are we saying that because I'm in a hurry to go for a meeting, I might pay these exorbitant fees? Probably the Ministry of Transport, together with Ghana Civil Aviation and all other stake agencies, let's look at how we can also get more domestic flights into the system.
Hajia, we have to go in 2 minutes.
About the prices, Thelma, I don't understand. When dollar was 18 cedis, 16 cedis, we were paying less to Tamale and Kumasi. Now the dollar is even now that it's going to 11 or something, and we are paying more. So I think the Ministry of Transport should look at that issue very well.
It's not just the tickets. The dollar is down, but we are paying more for everything. Tomatoes, Jenny, pepper.
Ellen, Hajia, Theresa, thank you so much.
Pepper got to do with that?
By then, this is dollar and everything. If dollar is low and pepper.
At least somebody didn't bring tomatoes and ginger to the studio today. Very grateful.
What shows?
Very grateful for the time that you have spent with us. Hajia Hamdatu Ibrahim is the former acting chairperson for the CPP. Hajia, all the best of the weekend to you.
Thank you.
Ellen Amadekwe, special aide to His Excellency the former Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and Theresa Kokui Ashie is a member of the NDC's National Communications team. Ladies, enjoy the weekend. We'll see you again at another Friday Headlines edition. Thank you for being a part of this and for hearing us out throughout. I am Selma Taki. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll continue.